All right, yep, start on your back. And yep, knees bent, feet down. Any way that's going to allow you to really just arrive in this beautiful space on such a beautiful day. Letting the shoulder blades ground and the hips ground. Yeah, and the feet. And exhale. And let's breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's pause at the top and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's pause. And then our last exhale. And then being in this space. If we have an intention for our practice, let's bring it into our heart, into our head space. Just onto our mat, letting our mat just be a visual of our sacred space. Feel ourselves anchoring into our breath and anchoring into our physical body. And as we move today, just visualizing ourselves anchoring into our body. This is especially useful as we are in fall, as the season of fall can be windy and brisk. So it's really important to energetically and physically anchor so we can keep our energy inward. So we're going to visualize that today and practice. Now let's send our legs, our feet up to the sky. Even though that's not grounding, we're sending them up to the sky. And then let's bring the right foot forward and the left foot kind of down as if we were skiing across the sky. And then switch, exhale, left foot back, right foot down. Try to keep the low back on the earth. And then let's just move with our breath, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling what is anchoring us down. Where is our anchor as we move now? And then 2 more times. And then we'll exhale, bring those feet to the ground, and we're going to move through some bridge pose. So find the right position for the feet to allow you to lift those hips, but still feel anchored. So let's bring our shoulder blades to the ground, backs of the shoulders to the ground, anchor those down, anchor the feet. And then exhale. Inhale, press those hips up, the glutes go up. Notice our anchor, then exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, side, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting. Let's pause at the top this time. With our hips lifted, we exhale, ground through the feet. Inhale, ground through the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lower down those hips. And now with the hips down, bring that low back to the ground. And we'll inhale. Exhale, anchor the low back. Inhale. Exhale, anchor the mid back. Inhale. Exhale, anchor the upper back and draw those knees into the chest and rock side to side. As we rock, massage that low back. And then hopefully your strap is handy. So find your strap. Yeah, great. Now cross the left leg over the right and just bring that strap across the right shin and the left shin. So it's kind of at an angle. And then kind of pull that strap so it pulls the knees in, the legs kind of in, right? Notice some compression, the outer right hip, maybe the left hip flexor. Just gently pulling that strap down. And then maybe we offer a slight rock. Now find that steadiness. So stillness and steady, pulling down that strap. And now let's release the strap and then untangle those legs. Send the legs up to the sky and then out to the feet come out to the side nice and wide. Bring the feet together. Now bring the hands to the side, palms down. Maybe bring the hands just a little bit underneath the low back or the glutes and just start to lower down the legs, maybe at like a 45-degree angle or maybe less, just so you feel a little activity in the lower abs, but the back is still grounded. Don't let that upper back come off the ground. So if it starts to, bring the feet up a little higher. And just notice that lower part of the belly maybe heating up. Now let's exhale with our feet still at an angle, bring our legs at an angle, bring the feet apart. And notice how that energy kind of moves. Where are we anchored? See where you're anchored. Maybe the hands, the glutes, the low back. As we press the low back, drawing the low back down. Now exhale, bring the feet together. Inhale at the top. Now exhale, draw those knees down and let's find a happy baby. So we can bring our arms on the inside of the knees, find the outside of the foot, or maybe bring our arms on the outside of the knees and find the shin. But kind of press those heels. That would be difficult. Press those elbows kind of towards the ground, feet to the sky. And then let the breath offer some ease, and let the breath create some expansion. Maybe in the feet or in the back. And as we expand, we find a little more anchor in our body. Now bring the feet together. And let's cross the right leg over the left. Find that strap and bring it across the shins. And then with the gravity of our hands kind of pulling on the strap. Maybe noticing on the outer hips, the hip flexors. And letting out a breath. During the fall season, it's really important when we ground that we can bring our awareness to that low back, because this time of year, the kind of frenetic energy of the wind and the breeze, it might stir up the energy in the low back, which might lead to worry or fear. So that's why we're spending some time with this low back and some awareness in the low back, because we can pacify anxiety, fear, and worry by energetically bringing awareness and physically bringing movement and stillness. So let's release the strap. Maybe just feel the low back and the legs crossed. And then we'll exhale, release that cross, let the feet fall out wide. So here we are in our V again, with our feet wide, low back down. Yep. Now bring the feet together so the soles face the sky. And now lower the heels just a little bit. So maybe you're at that 60 or 45-degree angle, but the low back is still grounded. You can bring those hands underneath the glutes or the hips and draw some heat into the low stomach. And that heat in the low stomach is going to support circulation in the low back, quelling some anxiety or fear, and balancing the elements within us. A couple more breaths. Exhale, bend the knees in. Inhale when we get the knees bent in. And then exhale, lower the feet all the way to the ground. And with the feet lowered, let's bring the hands above this head and reach them long, long, long past the front of the mat. Maybe a little arch in the back as we kind of reach and then around the back. And then let's send our legs long and our arms out like an X and our legs out. So we're like an X on the ground. And then X Shavasana for one more breath. And now let's exhale, roll over to one side. And pause on that one side, find your anchor. Where are we anchored? Exhale, let it go. And now let's press it up, meet in our tabletop. Yeah, good. So find that tabletop and bring our awareness to that low back. And now let's sway the hips side to side. So bring our hips over to the right and then over to the left. And just sway it back and forth. If you need a blanket under the knees, bring them there and open up to the sides. Maybe even really exaggerating. The feet moving side to side as we sway the hips. And now bring the hips over the knees so we're at center. Ground the hands. Bring that left knee kind of in between the hips so it's like a tripod, because we're going to extend the right leg back. Extend, extend, extend through the heel. Feel the crown of the head reaching forward. And then maybe we just lift that heel up and then lower the toes to the ground. Draw the belly button into spine. And then just lift the heel, kind of just pumping the leg. The toes go all the way down and the heel reaches up as much as we want and then back down. So let's do that for maybe 5 breaths. So 5. Breathing as we inhale up. And 3. And then 2. And then 1. Yeah, now lower the knee, bring the knees wide. Let's sit it back to child's pose and feel that low back settle down and ground and anchor through the base of the spine, that sacrum towards the heels. Breathing in. Exhale, sigh. Feeling any anxiety or rushedness settling in and down. Now let's exhale, roll it back up to tabletop, and we're going to move into that on the other side. So bring that right knee kind of between the hips so it's like a tripod. So the hands are wide and the knee is in the middle. And then extend the left leg back. Really reach through the heel and expand throughout the body. And then when you're ready, just start to lower the toes and lifting the heel. Feeling the glutes active, maybe the low back gets involved as the heel lifts. And that low stomach also maybe feeling a little warmth as we lower and lift. And then we have 3 more. Let it be mindful, knowing that this energy and this movement tied with the breath is really powerful. So lower that left knee down. This time we're going to step up to the front of our mat and ground in an Uttanasana. So as we fold it forward, that's those sits bones reach for the sky, that sacrum reaches up, and the heart rests, kind of beaming towards our thighs. Let the hands find the opposite elbows, and let's sway side to side. So now we're getting some flexion in the spine. That head is heavy. Now bring the elbows and the head back to the middle. Bend the knees. Let's rise all the way up to the sky with the hands. Good. And exhale, hands come to the side. Now let's turn. I'm going to turn towards my long edge of the mat. You can stay right there. And maybe you bring your feet mat distance apart, maybe a little wider. We're going to come into that goddess squat. Yeah, good. So toes point maybe towards the corners of the mat. Maybe they point in a little more, but see what feels right so you can kind of bend those knees and squat down and then tuck that pelvis. So when we have the low back on the ground, feel that in the low back. So it's flat. And then we're going to bring our arms out and then up. Yes. And then we're going to go over to the right, elbow towards the top of that thigh. Pause there and extend the arm over. Yes. And now exhale, bring the arm back and then up to the middle. Now bring the arms up to frame the ear. We're going to hinge it forward. Let the heart hover towards the ground. Ground to the feet. Maybe come into the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels lift as the fingertips reach forward and the heart is parallel to the ground. And exhale, lower the heels if they're lifted. Inhale to reach the hands to the sky, shoulders stack over the hips. Good job. Really nice. Exhale, cactus arms. And next exhale sends that left elbow to the left thigh. Reach the right arm over. You can glance towards the right elbow or towards the left knee. Exhale back to the middle. Inhale, hands come above the head. Maybe we're noticing it on our outer hips. They're starting to fire up a little bit. We're going to fold it forward. Make sure those knees stay out towards the pinky edge of the foot as the heart goes towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale, maybe we lift the balls of the feet. Or lift the heels, I'm sorry, lift the heels, or you can lift the balls, but try to lift those heels, and that might be a little easier. And now let's exhale, lower those heels. Now stay there, let's straighten those legs. Keep the heart towards the floor, straighten the legs, pivot the feet towards the long edge. And now maybe we bring our feet wider. And now fold the hands down to the ground or maybe to the hips. In a wide-legged forward fold, really nice. Now, feel those sits bones reaching for the sky. And imagine you could create space between your sits bones just by rotating the fronts of the hips forward towards the earth. Yeah, good job. So hands come down, good. Inhale. And then exhale, walk the hands over towards the right foot, maybe bending that right leg just a little bit. And we'll pause here with those hands towards the right side. The right leg is bent just a little. The left leg can be straight. Now exhale, walk the hands towards the middle, underneath the heart. Straighten the right leg. Bend that left leg just a little. Walk the hands towards the left. Try to keep those sits bones towards the back of the mat, kind of in the same line as the heels. Just to keep that weight back there as we fold it forward. Now bring our hands back to the middle so they're under the heart. Now if you can, if you have a block handy, you can find a block, but if you want, you can just bring the fingers to the ground, so left hand under the heart. Bend the knees on both legs, reach the right hand to sky. So here's our twist. Yeah. Press the hand into the earth and notice how it feels like we create space between the shoulder blades when we press that left hand down. Now exhale, bring the right hand down. Place it where the left hand was. Ground into the earth with that right hand. Press, 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 and sweep the left hand up to sky. This helps us kind of bring fresh blood and circulation to our inner organs. These twists. We're also grounding and bringing awareness to the low back. Exhale, the left hand comes down to meet the right. Now bend the knees and then just let the hands come onto the fingertips and then roll the shoulders up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Exhaling to stack the shoulders up, really nice. Head coming up last. Now let's roll our shoulders a few times. Maybe you sway side to side. So really any movements that feel good intuitively after our folding and after this twisting. And now let's come to the front of our mat. And we'll do the same thing there. So we can, bring those arms to sway side to side. And then let's find our strap. And I mentioned it before we get into the pose, because I have a tendency to do that. Yes, so in our standing position, wherever we're at on our mat, ground into that left foot and bring the right foot into the strap. So the ball of that right foot is there. We can have both hands on the strap. Now begin to lift that right knee. So maybe it's in line with the hip, and then kick into the strap. And as we kick the ball of the foot into the strap, kind of pull against the ball of the foot, send that heel out. And now maybe we open up the leg towards the side. Maybe it's like just at a little angle, maybe it's out all the way. But feel into that hip. The leg can be lower or it can be high. Press the ball of the foot into the strap. And now here's where we're going to just explore. So keep that leg there. And then gently release the straps. Maybe you let go of one end. So now it's just a leg. Yep, and then when you're ready, release the strap, let the leg be free. And then we'll bring that leg back to the middle. Now ground into the right foot. We're going to bring the strap onto the ball of the left. Bend that knee up. And then extend the leg so the ball kicks into the strap. Now we're going to open it up to the side. However of an angle we get to. Now press the ball of the foot into the strap. And then when you're ready, release one side of the strap. So then the leg is just open, no strap to support it. Notice the response in that left leg and in the standing leg. Now bring the foot back to the middle. And then sigh as we set it down. Nice. We're going to do the same thing, but we're just going to keep the leg out in front. So ground into the left foot, bring it into the ball of the right foot. And we're just going to lift it into the front plane, not to the side. Yep, so when you're ready, ground. And then just kick it out. Lift it up as high as you want. Feel that low belly, tuck the pelvis. Stand up tall. Lift up out of that left hip. Kick the ball of the foot into the strap. And when you're ready, release one side of the strap. And feel that strength in the thigh, in the leg, in the foot, rooted down. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, bend the knee. Let it down. Shake it out side to side. Maybe roll those hips. Yeah, there we go. A lot of action in the hips today. So we're going to do that on the left side. So we're going to ground. And then find that loop around the ball of the foot. Remembering, we're noticing our anchor. Where's our anchor? So we're going to anchor into that right foot. What else supports us in anchoring? the hips, kick the ball of the foot into the strap. And we bend the knee a little or a lot. And then when you're ready, when you have that anchor, notice where your anchors are and then release one side of the strap. Nice. Be noticing the difference from side to side. Noticing where we might start to feel it or burn a little more. Now bend that knee. Exhale, side, step it down. Whew. Good, let's shake it out. We can move the strap off to the side a little bit. And let's really kind of bend side to side. Getting that blood flow in the joints, around the joints, through the muscles. And then we'll step to the front of our mat. Grounding through the feet. Heart lifts. Maybe feeling taller than we have before as we send the feet down and lift up out of the hips. With the torso, inhale, the arms come up over the head. And then exhale, let's fold. Let's hang here, grabbing opposite elbows and bending the knees a lot. Maybe noticing the low back open. Sits bones, reach for the sky. And now let's ground the hands, step the feet back, find downward facing dog. And now, this is a different shape, but it's the same idea. We're gonna find our anchor. We're gonna find that stability in the low back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's inhale, lower the knees, just hover the knees above the ground. Nice, then inhale, find the legs straight, reaching the heels for the ground, back to downward facing dog. And we're gonna do that for a few flows. So bending the knees to hover, lowering, almost touching, and then we'll inhale to straighten the legs, heart reaching for the thighs. Bending the knees to lower, almost to the earth. And now do that maybe 3 more times. Moving like a wave through the shape. Grounding through the movement. So even though we're moving, we have our anchor and our stability. When you get to that last knee dip, keep the knees there, hover, 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 then lower the knees. Let's sit back in our child's pose. Exhale. Let's anchor in ourselves. Deep breath in. Exhale, look up at the hands and then walk the hands over to the right side. Maybe stacking the left hand on top of the right, sending that left sits bone towards the left heel, opening up the side body on the left side. Creating that expansion that allows for more movement. So the energy can flow through the body rather than collecting in one place. Exhale, look at the hands and then walk them through the middle all the way over to the left. And then maybe you stack the right hand on top of the left. Ground the right, sits bone towards the right heel. And sigh. Inhale. Exhale, looking up at the hands, walking the hands to the middle. And now when those hands get in front of us, let's roll up, coming onto our knees, but walking the hands forward as we roll down onto the tops of our thighs, tops of the feet come to the ground, lowering the hips, lowering the stomach. And now bring those elbows underneath the shoulders. Maybe the hands are flat on the ground and maybe the palms are together. And then let's rest in our Sphinx pose. So really ground through the elbows and then lift the heart, shining through. A little compression in that low back. Building a little bone density today in our Sphinx pose. Inhale. Exhale to ground, anchoring through the front of the body. Breathe in. Exhale, lowering the stomach, lowering the bottom of the ribs down. Now bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press up and back to Uttanasana. So downward facing dog, pressing the hands down, letting the lungs expand. Breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Here are a few more breaths, so find that anchor. And now we'll roll up to our plank pose only as a means to lower down the knees, the tops of the feet, lowering down the hips, the stomach, the low ribs, and we'll find our Sphinx again. Elbows down underneath the shoulders. Palms can be down or they can be together. Lifting the heart. Shoulders stack over the elbows maybe. We can glance just past the front of our fingertips towards the ground. Gazing at the ground in order to anchor. Breathe in. Now let's exhale, lower down the stomach so the bottoms of the ribs come to the ground. And now let's bring our arms out in front. So keep the heart lifted. Bring the arms out in front so the palms face each other. And now bend those legs, the tops or the bottoms of the feet come to the sky. And let's just bring the right foot towards the sky, lifting the right thigh off the ground, a little pump, and then lower. Hands are outstretched in front, thumbs to the sky. Lift the left foot to the sky, lifting the left thigh, and then lower. And now just do that again. Right foot to the sky, and lower. Left foot to the sky, and lower. One more time. Right foot, and lower. Now left foot up, and lower. Now bring those legs all the way to the ground. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Let's press it up and back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Let this be some relief. And if you want to come into child's pose and feel that stretch in the back, you can. Otherwise, stay in your downward facing dog. Our awareness and our intention is to lengthen the spine. Let's begin to walk our feet, maybe 2 little steps closer to the hands, but stay in the upside down V. We could bend the knees a lot or a little if we need to. Now let's slowly take a couple more steps closer to the hands. Drawing the belly in. You can glance up at the hands, and then we'll walk our feet a couple more steps closer to the hands, trying to keep our balance, maybe coming up to the fingertips. And then walk the rest of the way, feet to meet the hands, kind of tiptoeing up to the top of the mat. And then we'll hang in our Uttanasana, grabbing opposite elbows. Now bend the knees. Let's rise up really slow because we've been upside down for a while. And then we'll pause. Really nice job in our standing pose. Letting the energy flood from the head down to the soles of the feet. Exhale, sigh. Place the energy and the weight into the left foot. Bend the right knee. Maybe hands are in prayer or at the side, wherever feels good. Lift the right knee up. And now send the right leg back as we slowly hinge forward. Maybe at an angle forward with the leg at any height. If it feels okay, yeah, lengthen the leg or unbend it so the right leg is long. Maybe the heart's parallel with the ground. And now we're just gonna pulse that right heel to the sky, maybe 5 times, just like we did earlier. Feel the anchor in the pelvis. Where is our balance? And after that last little pulse, let's pause and hold in this variation of Warrior 3. And now exhale, bring that knee up and through, knee in line with the hip. Yes, exhale, bring the toe to the ground, the leg is still bent, and then open that knee to the side for a variation of tree. You can lift that foot onto the calf, maybe the inner thigh, maybe the toe just rests. And anchor. Nice, bring the knee in and ground the foot. And we're gonna do that on the other side. Maybe we take some sway side to side, or we can do our kidney slaps. Nice. Our Thursday noon hula hoop coming into play here on our Saturday. And then we'll ground into that right foot. When you're ready, bend the left leg. Any variation with the hands as we hinge it forward, and we'll extend that left leg long. When you feel completely anchored in yourself and completely anchored in your space, begin to gently kind of pulse, adding some movement to the stillness. And when you're ready, begin to draw the shoulders over the hips and bring that knee through. You got it. Ground the toe, open the knee up to the side. And find your Vikrasana. Maybe closing the eyes just to see what it's like with the eyes closed. Nice. Exhale, bring the knee in. Draw that foot down. Really nice job. Let's bring our hands up above the head. Let's sway over to the right, the feet ground. Through the middle, and exhale over to the left. Bring it back to the middle. As you reach for the sky, ground into the earth. And feel those polarities of extending up to the sky, but anchoring down. Just like those polarities of stillness and movement. Now bring those hands to the heart space. Breathe in. We'll exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. And now in our forward fold, we can bring our feet apart, toes facing out. We can sink the hips down. Let's find a Malasana. And if that's not quite accessible, we have our sumo. So like we say, pick your continent. We can be in Japan, or your country, Japan, or we can be in India. So choose and listen, and tune in. Let's be here for 10 breaths, grounding down, anchoring deep into ourselves. Allowing our energy to settle down and ground. These hips, drawing our energy down. Now, as you're ready, let's bring our hands behind us, kind of behind those hips, so we can walk the hands back, drop the hips down, yeah, and send the feet out in front. And let's bring our feet wide. For a wide-legged seated fold now. So feet can be as wide apart as is comfortable. And from here, with the feet nice and wide, bring that left foot in. So the foot might be kind of on the inner thigh, or just kind of resting in the middle. Now bring that right hand to the side. Let's sweep the left hand up and over. Yeah, nice. And now exhale, kind of rotate the heart so it hovers over the thigh, and that left arm can reach for that right foot. The right hand stays on the earth. You can flex the right foot towards the face. So the left hand reaching towards the foot, the heart parallel with the thigh. And then we'll inhale, sweep the right hand to sky, opening the heart up, and the left hand to sky, the right hand grounds. There we go. And now exhale, rotate that heart to hover over the thigh. The left hand reaches for the foot. And let's just do that a couple more times at your own pace. Feeling that twist, feeling the heart open. Maybe noticing the back of the leg, the left outer hip. Bringing in different movements and different stillness. And now the next time that arm comes up, let's pause with the arm at the top. Now exhale to kind of cartwheel that left hand down, and now reach the right arm up. Try to keep that right leg really firm on the ground. Flexing the spine in the other way now. Then inhale, bring the right hand over the right shoulder. Bring the left hand up to the sky. And then draw the hands to the heart. And then send the left leg out and bring that right leg in. And then find those sit bones. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So bring the left hand behind to anchor behind us. The left arm reaches up. And then pivot that heart towards the thigh. Reach that right hand towards the left leg. And then when you're ready, open the right arm to the sky, opening the heart towards the sky as well. The right hand kind of paving the way for the heart. You got it, yes. Just moving with awareness. Just a couple more opening and closings. Pausing at the top to open up the heart. Yeah, and I bring the right hand behind, and the left arm sweeps up and reaches as the left leg continues to reach forward, so we create that length in the side body. And now exhale, bring the left hand over the shoulder stacks over the hips, the right arm comes up, reaching for sky. Exhale, float the hands down. Bring the right knee in and send the right leg straight and draw the left leg to meet the right. We're going to thunder thigh it out, so kind of flapping those legs and the thighs, yeah, or rabbit punching the leg. And let's make our way to our backs the same way that we flowed through our bridge, but through Shavasana. So get the heels down, toes to the sky. Palms up, recline it back, and then slowly, kind of imagining we could go one vertebrae at a time, or one piece of the back at a time, lowering down as best we can. And then letting those hands come over the head towards the ground. Maybe we draw the knees in one last time. And then when you're ready, finding Shavasana with maybe a blanket or bolster, some socks, a quilt, anything you need. And if there's any movement that we didn't get to today that you think would just really kind of be the icing on the cake, offer that. If you're ready for Shavasana, allow the anchoring of energy throughout your entire being. And maybe notice the energy kind of falling from the front of the body towards the back of the body, just like that leaf finds its way from the treetop to the ground, just slowly and effortlessly. The energy grounding down to offer that rest. Allowing that tongue to be effortless. And your jaw to relax. Shoulders, those hips and those heels ground down. Resting in the strength and power of rest. Really nice job. This is where the body integrates on an emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, wisdom level. The benefits of the breath of our practice, the movements of our practice, and that conscious awareness of our practice. Allowing our body to take care of itself as it has done for so long. Walk slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still,
And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going. That many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Dana folds. When you're ready, slowly and softly, let's roll over to a side and find ourselves together in a seated position. Yeah, let's find our anchor. And now let's bring our awareness to our breath by inhaling for 4. Pause. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And letting go of any effort with the breath. And closing together with our hands at our heart space. We'll exhale and inhale and exhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Thank you and namaste.